You think men fall in love because you're beautiful? Wrong. You think it's because you're kind, caring, and give him everything he needs? Wrong again. Here's the truth most women never hear. Men don't fall in love because of what you give them. They fall in love because of what they feel when they're with you. And those feelings? They're not triggered by the obvious things you've been told your whole life. There are three hidden switches inside every man's heart. Miss even one, and he might like you, maybe even stay with you, but he will never love you the way you dream of. And the last one, oh, it's the one almost every woman gets completely wrong. Stay with me, because once you know these three, you'll never see men or love the same way again. Part 1. He needs to chase something worth keeping. Let's get brutally honest for a moment. Men are hunters by nature, not in the caveman sense of dragging someone by the hair, but in the emotional sense, wired to value what they pursue, what they earn, what they believe is rare. And here's the twist most people don't want to hear. If love is simply handed to a man with no effort required, it loses its edge. It fades into the background. This doesn't mean you play games, act cold, or manipulate him. It means you understand a timeless truth. A man falls deeper when he feels he's earning your love, not when it's poured into his hands without a second thought. Think about it. Anything in life that requires no effort rarely inspires deep value. The same is true in relationships. When a man feels he has to step up, show up, and prove himself to a woman he respects and admires, something powerful happens inside him. He bonds, he invests, he treasures. In real life, here's what that looks like. You have boundaries. You don't say yes to everything. You don't rearrange your life just to orbit around his. You have your own passions, friends, goals. Your happiness doesn't depend on his presence. You allow emotional closeness to be earned, not given away like a free sample. You don't pour out your deepest love and vulnerability in week one. You let him show, through consistent actions, that he is worthy of those parts of you. And here's the subtle difference. You're not playing hard to get. You are hard to get. Your heart is valuable, and not just anyone earns access to it. Men crave this kind of challenge. It's not about ego, it's about engagement. It wakes something primal inside them, it makes them chase, and more importantly, it makes them fall. Because here's the quiet secret most women never hear. Effort creates emotional investment. The more he invests, the more he cares. The more he cares, the deeper he falls. This doesn't mean withholding affection or pretending indifference. It's about creating a living, breathing dynamic where he feels like winning your heart is an ongoing adventure, not a completed task. If love is a fire, you don't dump gasoline on it in one go. You feed it slowly, letting it grow hotter and stronger over time. Be warm, but not overly available. Show interest, but keep a little mystery. Allow space, then draw him close again. This rhythm keeps his focus, sharpens his desire, and keeps his feelings burning strong. And when he finally feels he's truly earned you, not just stumbled into you, he doesn't just fall in love. He stays in love. Because you're not just the woman he likes. You're the woman he respects. The woman he'd never risk losing. And that is why the first thing a man needs before he can fall in love is something worth chasing. But this is only the first trigger. Even if he's chasing you, there are still two more, each one capable of unlocking his heart completely or closing it forever. Part 2, he needs to feel admired, not controlled. Now we move to the second thing every man needs before his heart can truly open. And this one is massive. He needs to feel admired, not controlled. Love does not grow in a place where a man feels micromanaged, judged, or endlessly told what to do. Men are wired for freedom, but more importantly, for respect. And when he senses control instead of admiration, something inside him starts to close. Here's the raw truth. A man falls deeply in love with the woman who makes him feel like the best version of himself, not with the woman who tries to fix him, reshape him, or dictate how he should live. Admiration is his emotional oxygen. It's the unspoken language he craves but rarely admits to. Think about this. When was the last time you told a man, "I'm proud of you. I admire how hard you work for what matters. I love how you protect the people you care about"? Those words cut deeper than "I love you." Why? Because love can feel passive, but admiration, that feels earned. It tells him, "I see you. I see your effort, and I respect who you are." Here's a secret most women never hear. A man would rather feel respected without love than loved without respect. That's how deep this need runs in his wiring. So how do you give a man this kind of admiration without slipping into blind flattery? Notice his effort, not just the end results. Acknowledge his character, not just his actions. Speak to his strengths, even in the smallest everyday ways. When you do this, something powerful happens. He relaxes in your presence. His guard lowers. You stop being another person he has to impress and start becoming the one place in his life where he feels seen. And here's the paradox. When a man feels admired, he doesn't become arrogant. He becomes generous. He gives more, loves harder, and fights to keep the woman who makes him feel like that man. Because for him, admiration is not about ego. It's about identity. It's about knowing he is enough. Not because he's perfect, but because the woman he loves recognizes and respects the man he already is. When you make him feel this way, you're no longer just the woman he likes. You're the woman he wants to protect, cherish, and keep for life. But here's the thing. Admiration alone isn't enough. Even if you give him respect, and even if you're worth chasing, there's still one last trigger. And this one is the deal breaker. Miss it, and he may love you, but he won't feel bound to you forever. And in part 3, you'll learn exactly what it is. Part 3. He needs to feel safe enough to be weak. Now for the final thing a man needs before he can truly fall in love. And this one, it goes against everything you've been told about men. He needs to feel safe enough to be weak. Men spend their entire lives wearing armor. From the time they're boys, they're told to man up, to hide their feelings, to never show weakness. And so they learn to perform strength even when they're breaking inside. But here's the truth they'll never admit out loud. Every man has fears. Every man has insecurities. Every man has wounds. The woman who earns his heart forever is the woman who makes him feel safe enough to take the armor off. Because he's not afraid of loving you. He's afraid of being vulnerable and getting hurt. If you give him a space where he can drop his guard, where he can say what's really on his mind without fear of being mocked or dismissed, if he can cry without feeling judged, if he can admit his doubts without feeling small, he will bond with you in a way that is almost unbreakable. Here's the thing. You don't need to fix his problems. You don't need to have all the answers. You just have to be there, to listen, to hold him, without judgment, without trying to turn him into someone else. When you give him that safety, you don't just win his affection, you earn his trust. And that trust is rarer than love itself. Because now, you're not just the woman he desires. You're the woman he can show his scars to, knowing you'll still see him as a man worth loving. And that's when love stops being surface level. It becomes something deep, something lasting, something that no storm can easily break. So let's piece it together. 1, he needs to chase something worth keeping, because effort creates value, and value creates love. 2, he needs to feel admired, not controlled, because admiration feeds his soul and keeps him investing in you. 3, he needs to feel safe enough to be weak, because love without vulnerability isn't love at all. These aren't games. They're not manipulation. They are the emotional keys that unlock a man's heart and make him fall, not just in love, but into a love that's strong, deep, and built to last. Most women focus on saying the right things or doing the right things. But when you meet these needs, you're not just doing. You're creating a feeling inside him that he can't forget. And that feeling is what makes a man say, "She's the one." Now you know the 3 things every man needs before he can truly fall in love. Give him these and watch how he transforms. But here's the twist. Falling in love is just the beginning. Keeping that love alive, that's a whole different game. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. Because in my next video, I'll reveal the one thing that keeps a man obsessed with you. Long after he's already fallen, don't miss it. Now you know the truth. Give a man these three things, and you won't just win his heart, you'll own it. But love doesn't end here. The real game is keeping him addicted to you. Hit follow, and I'll show you how.